Anthony's worst of 2012 so far.
So, how are things with, I'm just going to say, with Chevy?
Chevy's fine.
Is he? This is like the longest gig he's ever had, I think, right?
Yeah, he was only on SNL for a year. This is 3 years now.
Wow.
We're just waiting for one of them to tell the truth.
To crack and actually explain. Didn't someone tell us the truth once?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We might have heard some things. After
Was it on the air or off?
It was unfortunately off.
Oh, damn
We're
it.
waiting for the...
Off.
One of these people will
Yeah,
crack.
Someone's going to crack
They're gonna
one
crack.
of these days.
Thank you so much.
But it won't
And
be
we're
on this show.
We're going to make headlines.
It'll be like right after they leave this show, they'll go somewhere else.
When you
and
know the show's going
talk about
away, then we'll get you people back.
looking at illegal stuff on Chevy's computer.
Yeah.
all the good stuff will come out.
He doesn't know how to use a computer.
I bet.
I had to reset his Apple ID password for him once.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it scumbag?
No.
I'm teasing, of course.
Gentleman.
He does have a reputation. I'm just saying. I'm not sure if it's true or not. I don't know the man.
We almost met him once.
Yeah.
Almost did?
We were in makeup together. And
Oh,
that's
really?
right.
He refused to acknowledge us.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Even after we said
Said
hi.
hi and everything.
Yeah.
Even after we said hi.
Well, he's
Yeah.
hard of hearing. He
Is that what
probably-
is
was
that
going
it?
on?
Yeah.
I saw him at Book of Mormon. I sat right behind him.
Oh, yeah?
He enjoyed it very much.
He was
he
laughing hard.
hooting
Remember
and
that?
hollering at it?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a great show. I haven't
It's
seen it.
Oh, you haven't
tremendous.
seen
Was
it?
it?
You
I
gotta
don't go for the salty language, but aside from that,
Telling its sensibilities.
yeah, I
We're
didn't go
offended.
for that. I thought they could have taken the high road.
Salty language. Did Chevy have a personality transplant? Because I noticed. Teasing, of course. I love Chevy.
I met him once. He was pleasant.
Was he?
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
That sounds good. What a rousing endorsement that is. He was pleasant.
Well, we only spoke for a second.
Nana's pleasant, too. I don't want to be in a room with
Exactly. Handed me a sugar cookie. No, we only met for a second, and I annoyed him to take a photo. And
He's a legend, you know.
her. Yes,
Yeah,
he
he
is.
is.
Yes,
Meeting
he
him
is.
is like
Fletch, come on.
meeting.
Fletch Lives,
Yes.
Cops and Robertsons.
Cops and
Has-
Robertsons.
Has Joel
That's
told you
third
about
on your
this?
list?
Well, that's the one Joel brings up daily.
Of course he does.
See?
That's great.
Did
That's
he
why we
tell,
love Joel.
Has Joel ever told you about Karate Dog? Our
No.
obsession with Karate Dog?
no.
All right, so he is the voice, Chevy Chase is the voice of Karate Dog.
Who else
in the,
could be? Of course,
I know, in the movie Karate Dog. That's what you guys should Google. That's
Can we
amazing.
Google Karate Dog?
Yeah,
Please?
and
You have to. You're at
yeah,
the computer.
okay. Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No.
Does it have a jumping
You're a big
robot
star.
in it?
You're a big star. Don't do it.
Jumping robot.
So it is
Karate
a show. It's a movie that stars Simon Rex.
Look at you doing all the
John
work.
Voight. I
The
know.
legwork here.
We have
Can
to
you
work.
book my flight?
We're
Jillian, please?
working.
John Voight.
Karate Dog
John
trailer.
Voight's in it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How about his car?
And Chevy is the voice of Karate Dog. And Joel discovered it one day on
And Pablo Francisco.
Yeah, Showtime. And so Joel started buying every DVD that was under $5 on eBay of Karate
man.
Dog. And by the end of the season, he had 50 copies of it in his trailer. And the last day of shooting, he presented Chevy with 50.
With all of the
Yeah.
copies. I'm sure Chevy took the joke well and laughed.
He
oh,
did.
Great.
He started hiding them on the set. So there was one scene where we all had to get up to a lectern, and he put a copy of Karate Dog there. And it took Chevy like 15 minutes to notice it. We thought that he was taking it really well, but then we realized he just hadn't seen it. And then when he finally found it, he was like, "You prick!" and like flung it at Joel. But
He is hard to
we
work with, see?
Take much delight in Karate Dog. It's our
Karate
favorite
Dog.
thing.
Let's
Yeah.
try to hear Chevy as
Oh, yeah.
Karate Dog.
iCat or Watch Cat? No. Oh, yeah.
Looks good.
Want to come back to my place?
That's Chevy right there.
If you were high, you would never stop laughing.
Yeah.
No.
He's
a party
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is the best.
Shit, he's got a band.
Oh, neat.
They're playing instruments.
Ah, this is bullshit. Animals don't do this.
Oh, literal chip.
we playing poker or what?
Ah, the guy got pissed
inappropriate.
on.
It's great.
John
It's
Voight is in
John
this.
Voight.
Oh, poor
They're
John
both
Voight.
karate masters.
Is that when they have Midnight Cow Dog? Where the dog gets blown by some kid in fucking Times Square? Glasses. Please don't beat me up.
And that's a good
Miyagi's
one.
in it.
Yeah, it's
Ralphie May and Ben
Ralphie
Bailey.
May. Yeah. Jamie Presley,
visual.
Simon Rex, John Voight, and the voice of Chevy Chase as Karate Dog.
David Tell.
This is O&A's worst of 2012 so far on the Opie and Anthony channel.
We got the Chevy Chase call.
Oh, I want to hear that.
They had the call they released?
Oh, yeah, we got the call. And it's good. We were just talking to Gillian Jacobs the other day, saying, "Come on, tell us, he's an asshole, right? We all know he's an asshole.
Yeah,
we've been told he's an asshole.
Everyone knows he's an asshole. He's never not been an asshole."
Me and Ant were in the makeup room the same time as this fucking jizzbag, and he wouldn't fucking talk to us after we try to introduce ourselves. He's an asshole.
You don't think this is a work?
No. So what's the story? I guess he walked off the set last day of shooting Community this past season.
Yeah, so apparently they were filming the finale and he walked off the set. Some people say it's because he didn't think the episode was funny, and he said it's because they didn't have a script, and so he was tired of it, and so he walked off. Then Dan Harmon, who's the show creator, at the rap party that Chevy Chase and his family were at, had a toast that said, "Fuck you, Chevy," and tried to get everybody to chant, "Fuck you, Chevy."
While Chevy was in the room.
While Chevy
With
and
his wife.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then Chevy left an expletive-laden voicemail for Dan Harmon, which Dan Harmon then shared with everybody. One of those people was recording it.
Oh,
very cool. So I hear it's hard to hear, though, unfortunately, huh?
It's a little hard to hear, but you can make it out.
You can make out some of the shit? Mm-hmm. All right, here's Chevy Chase.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chevy Chase. You ready to take your message?
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's on the phone. Right?
Dan Harmon.
That's
the
Dan
guy.
Harmon
Being
saying,
an asshole to Chevy, like, ladies and gentlemen, Chevy Chase, because he knew he was revving up.
No, he's saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, Chevy Chase," and then he played the voicemail.
okay. Got it.
There's
Got it.
theater for you.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chevy Chase. You ready to take your message? Take your medicine, you fat fuck. You didn't give us a script to begin with, so nobody knew what the fuck was going on during the week. Second of all, you're goddamn bad writing shit, snicko, fuck. Was an abomination. And your writing is getting worse and worse, so suck my cock.
Who are the
They're
people
all laughing.
Why are they laughing?
They'll all laugh at you.
Something's suspicious about
Yes.
this whole thing, huh?
He's roasting him back or something. There's something weird
Something
going
is
on.
suspicious, Sam.
I thought he was playing it in front of a bunch of people.
He is
and
playing
they're
it.
laughing.
Yeah.
Who are the bunch of people, though?
Probably coworkers.
Because they all know Chevy's an asshole. That's what I'm getting from
Oh,
it. Like they're
okay.
like they're not taking him seriously. It's like, listen to this fucking dick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because he said in the past that he has problems with the show. He doesn't like
Oh, okay.
Dan Harmon.
He's a
Why doesn't he like
douche.
Community?
He doesn't like.
Critically acclaimed. Wouldn't most actors want that?
He said he doesn't
On their
like,
resume?
He doesn't think it's a funny show, and he doesn't think his character's funny. He said,
Why
like,
is he doing it?
Like they'll ask him the hacky, like you know, are you like your character? And he goes, "No, I'm funny. My
He's
character's
funny
not
when?
funny." You haven't
When
seen
was
it,
Chevy fucking funny? Oh God.
Vacation.
Okay.
I don't get talked to like that by anybody, certainly not in front of my wife and daughter. You goddamn asshole, alcoholic, fat shit. You're old enough to be about 57 if you're lucky the way you eat. I got nothing to say to you except you can suck my cock. Is that clear? I hope you can play that for everybody around you who agrees with you. That you should say fuck you in front of all of those people, to me and my family.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a work because
No, you're right. I for a second thought it was because they were laughing.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's not.
But it's almost like Chevy, don't you know? It's everyone who's ever worked with you says that you're a douchebag.
Yeah.
Everyone.
yeah.
He says he doesn't
Everyone.
like sitcoms.
But why are you doing one? Just keep doing movies. If he's
The calm part of it, he's got a problem with.
Yeah.
Jeez. He's terrible.
This is gonna be the last season of Community.
Well, I mean, I would think that they would want to go on as long as possible. They're not planning on ending it now, but like season 4, I guess, is when you get into syndication. So they're excited about
Gotcha.
this one. But well, they thought that this one that just happened could be the last one after they went on hiatus. But I don't know if season 4. I don't think it's officially been announced yet. But everybody's hoping that it happens.
They haven't been picked up, but it's the second highest rated sitcom
Yeah.
on NBC behind The Office. So.
After they came back, they started murdering comparatively.
Nice. Good for them. I like a lot of those people.
It's a good show too. It's
Love
really
Joel
funny.
McHale. We go way back with Joel.
Joel.
Not so
Yeah.
much with Chevy.
No,
Soup days.
I would have had a great line if I was there too.
what would you have said?
Yeah, why I wish he was. He'd tell you how he really feels.
Ah, it's a good one. It is a good one. What?
Probably better that you weren't there.
Ah, place for one bananas.
I don't think so.
Sam, Chris Humphries.
Yeah.
That's where the whole looking like a dummy in a hot tub started. With Chris Humphries.
I thought it was with Diddy.
I don't know if it was Diddy. I thought
Diddy
we
looked
were
like
talking
a-
about Chris Humphries.
But Diddy was in the hot tub in Biggie's video, just looking like a dummy in the hot tub.
That's true,
Was he?
too.
Yeah.
But we did refer to Chris Humphries as the big dummy in the hot tub.
He's also a dummy in a hot
But
tub.
you know what? He's fighting back. You know, he's got that Kim Kardashian divorce thing happening, and he refuses to sign the papers for
Until she admits it's fake, right?
Yep. $7 million fucking dollars they're willing to pay Chris Humphries, and they have called him kind of a gold digger. And he's like, I ain't signing shit until this broad and her family admits this whole thing was a fake fucking wedding.
Wait, they'll pay him to sign?
Does he admit it, the whole thing was fake, or he thought it was real and he's realizing that he was set up?
I believe his claim is that it was they set it up without telling him.
Without telling him.
And he
right.
thought it was real?
Yeah. And he's a fucking idiot, so that's a possibility.
So wait a minute, did fucking... What's the $7 million thing?
They're saying if you...
They're trying to settle and say, here's your $7 million, sign the fucking divorce papers,
And
let's
go
all
away.
move on.
Yeah.
And don't talk about it anymore.
Right.
It's like, fuck you, because you know, he's the laughing stock of the NBA. They fucking chant and make fun of him all the time.
This is genuinely embarrassing for the Kardashians, too, to have this continue to be dragged on.
Yeah.
He looked like an idiot through this whole fucking thing.
And they
so
like-
he's
yeah.
fighting back saying, fuck you.
They like to somewhat control their press, whether it's positive or negative, just to kind of, you know...
He's refusing to divorce Kim unless she gives him a public apology and admits the entire wedding was staged by her and her family. There you go. They've offered him $7 million to shut up and go away.
But he won't take it.
Nope. Chris wants Kim to admit to fraud, to admit the whole thing was staged for publicity, to make a public apology to him because he really wanted a marriage. So he believed it was real.
He was very much in love.
And now he's starting to think, holy fuck, these assholes set me up.
Very much in love.
Very much in
He's
love.
like such a dolt on that show.
But
He's a moron.
they really fucking... If that's true, then they really fucked him over.
Then they did fuck him over.
And the Kardashians, the Team Kim, they call it, they're attacking Humphries. They're trying to spin Kim as the victim, but Chris isn't going to stand for it. Good for him, man.
How much is his contract for in the NBA? He might not need $7 million. He might get more out of this.
No one would say no to $7 million, OJ.
That's true.
No matter what the fuck you make. You
Gotta
kidding me?
agree with you. Gotta agree with you on that one.
If he's not letting it go for $7 million, that's fucking...
He's making a few million a year easy.
He is, right?
Oh, yeah. So.
Just for putting a ball in a hoop. What about that?
Perhaps.
I hear ya.
What's his contract?
What is he? 3.2 million.
What's that much? I mean, it's a lot, but I mean...
You could use 7, though.
Fuck yeah.
The character Chevy plays is exactly like he is on the voicemail. Maybe they're trying to get a little buzz out there.
No, he's
Should we
not.
be suspicious or not on that one?
No, I mean, Travis, the voicemail is not like Chevy's character at all.
All right.
He doesn't walk
No,
around
I'm
calling
not
people
suspicious at all. And there's
drunk
another-
cocksuckers.
There's another update on Deadline's website that says that a lot of people there at the cast party agree with Chevy's side of the story, that they were having a, quote, non-script day when he walked off. So Chevy seems to be telling the truth there, if you're to believe other people.
Still
And-
comes off as a prick.
Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I don't think this is a work at all.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think you're right. I thought it was for a second.
Plus, it's not like it's just like a nice guy who's historically gotten a great reputation coming out and looking like an asshole now.
Right.
We all knew he was an asshole before.
There's nothing worse than a fake call or whatever, because, nobody wants to hear a work like that. It's just fucking stupid.
This is Opie and Anthony's worst of 2012 so far.
What's up with Chevy, man? There's another voicemail.
Go.
Come on. Let's make some.
I don't know.
Some press today.
Gillian was here.
And beautiful and talented and lovely.
She
love her.
is such a friggin' pisser, man. She's a lot of fun. And we were talking to her about it. And I don't know. She didn't say anything.
Right.
Officially.
But everyone
her body language.
Everyone always makes a face like, like, oh, that guy is. So, all right, look. I'll phrase it in a way. That's it. All right, Joel.
Yes.
We know Chevy's the biggest prick you've ever worked with. Who's the second?
My word. I'm going to go with Kelly. No.
Kelly, yeah, that ripper.
It almost feels like he's trying to sabotage the show. Like,
Yeah, why would he want to do that?
The one I don't know. One of those things. I got on a plane yesterday, and when I came off, they're like, "So, how about that voicemail?"
Have we heard it?
I was like, "All I have so one plane ride, and then there's another voicemail." So
Another voicemail.
I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it. I
I
literally
haven't heard the second
You
one
haven't
either.
heard it yet?
I haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it.
I read a transcript of it.
Why don't we hear it?
I get the
hear it?
transcripts from all the shows.
Yeah, you got to get the
Oh,
transcript. gives him. Joe's like, oh, great.
Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. We might stop it a few times.
I got to work with this guy. Could you not?
I know.
I'm just glad to see a CD. That's
I know, right?
pretty extraordinary.
That's kind of dumb.
Digital.
Isn't it?
Hi, Dan. It's Chevy.
Oh boy.
Who's he talking to?
Dan.
First of all, it's just
Who's
hi,
Dan
Dan,
again?
it's Chevy, and Joel just goes, "Oh boy."
Yeah, I have a feeling Joel might have had a few of these calls.
Oh God.
I know.
Hi, Joel. It's Chevy.
Chevy and I do text
Chevy.
each other, but the only thing Chevy and I text each other onion headlines. That's his.
Oh yeah, that's a
that's
great
our,
thing.
That's our relationship.
Very funny.
Who's Dan again?
Dan
Harmon is the creator of the show.
Creator. Okay.
The creator.
Chevy Chase. I've looked at now 3 shows in a row. That's last week and a couple this week. I've watched more than that, but the point I want to make is this. There's a disconnect somewhere, either between
The sigh.
what is actually shot and the humor on the set when we shoot it, and the final product, the editing. I don't know who's doing the editing
Me.
and making the choices that count the most.
Now hold on for a second. He pretty much described the entire show. Like it's like there seems to be a disconnect between everything: the acting, the mood in this studio, the recording of it, the editing.
Drops the.
I don't like the way the credits roll at the end.
But I'll tell you, this is getting... Dan Harmon leaked the first one. He played it, and it got leaked, and he felt bad about it or whatever. He apologized for playing that message. But this is another one to him, and this is a much better quality one.
Yeah.
I don't know what their relationship is, but it just sounds like he's had enough of hearing from this guy.
And we're just speculating here.
We are just
Joel,
speculating. I'm not
pure
speculating.
And you're not speculating. We're speculating with you in the room. You're like a litmus paper. It
Thank
doesn't
you.
have to talk, but we can look at it and know exactly what's going
That
on.
also means I'm thin.
That's true,
Thank
too.
you.
He's moving a lot in his chair. You
He's a
notice
litmus
that?
paper
Yeah.
thin.
Joel is
What was
fidgeting
What
about.
was Gillian doing?
She was, she put her head down, she'd look up and look, like, out of the corner of her eye, look up and smile a little, like,
He was way cuter than what I'm doing.
oh, adorable.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're pretty cute, too.
Thank you.
But she also, I think I saw her mouth, fuck that Chevy. What?
Wow.
I'm teasing, of course.
We don't know for sure,
And we know
right?
you don't want you can't blow up your own show. I understand that. So you got to
my
work
God.
with this person. It's a real thing. But he's being he's kind of, this is public stuff now, and it's getting to a
everywhere.
point where it looks like
He's the problem.
it's hurting the perception of the show, and it's a good
But at
show.
least we are picked up for a 4th season.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Good.
No, we're not. No.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm joking.
I bet you will be, though.
I hope so.
But I'm saying that's why I said it almost seems sabotaging.
This helps.
He
Even
wants
though
to stop, Joel.
Chevy didn't release this
no,
stuff.
I don't. It's
Okay,
fine. No. I don't know how Chevy could have. Yeah, he
He
doesn't.
did release this stuff, but it just seems like he's a very difficult guy.
But if you ask Chevy to, like, we'll release a voicemail to the, it would be impossible for him to figure it out. So, you'd be like, take that off the phone. So, I
How do
wasn't
you do
Chevy.
that? What?
Yeah.
Most. But I will say this. The other part of the disconnect is that obviously you don't get my humor at all.
That's true.
Or what
That was
it is
Dan.
I do that's funny, that actually makes people laugh.
I do agree with
Got
that.
two choices.
Oh,
what is he doing?
Is that
That's
Dan
him
Harmon?
talking over it?
That's Dan
Oh,
talking
That's
over
Dan talking over. it.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's.
That's true.
Wow, that's
I guess it's
brutal.
not technically a voicemail.
Wow.
No,
He's-
when you're
He's
when you're
fucking
talking.
commenting on it.
Wow.
I
Or
didn't-
maybe Dan's voicemail is set up that it'll agree
randomly.
with what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That would be great.
Or is this a
randomly.
A
discussion?
lot of people.
No, this is a voicemail.
Oh, he says hi, it's
but
Chevy.
I think he's just fucking giving his comments over the voicemail.
As he's recording
Oh.
it,
I think.
he's talking.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
that's,
do agree with
Got
that.
two choices. One is storyline. The other is, like everybody gives a about the story when they don't even know who the characters are.
Yes.
Or there's make people laugh. Now, you know what I do, and I don't appreciate, like a great joke like the cast being ripped off my, and pointing out all the funny things
War
that are
casting.
on in my cast that I've tried to scratch
Not the
my
casting,
and it's just
leg
cut.
casting.
Right.
It's just cut
Yeah.
out. There's just one line about some kind of a thing I eat that was in my cast. When you had big laughs. That's just physical. I'm just talking about laughing. Again, tonight I'm looking at two. So I'm doing in that place on a wheelchair. It's cut.
I think this would be better if we put music to it.
So that what? So that people can follow the storyline between Joel and Gillian,
Hey.
and love affairs and kissing. Come on, man, you're missing the point. I mean, this is not my kind of comedy. I thought you hired me for what I can do that's funny. You got to give me some range, and then you don't have some editor with no sense of humor, no sense of me, cutting things down to the point where I just look like I don't like it. And, I should have had this talk to you face to face, but I didn't want to because I really like you. I think your writing is great. I think everything you do is great. But the problem really is, Dan, you're not there when we shoot, and you're not there when they edit. So you don't even know what you have. You don't even know what it is I'm doing. And if you want me on this show again, I got news for you. I don't want it. It's just a mediocre sitcom.
Wow.
I want people to laugh. And this isn't funny. And it ain't funny to me because I'm 67 years old, and I've been doing this a long time.
Sounds every year of it.
And I've been making a lot of people laugh a lot better than this.
Joel?
Good time.
Joel, comment?
Everything's comfortable all the time. So glad.
That is a little.
Well, here's the good news.
Yes, sir.
That was apparently, from what I read, was over a year old.
Really?
So,
is that a year old?
That's the other thing. It's a year old.
See, we didn't know that.
And he came back. So it all worked out.
So it all worked out.
Everything is good now.
That's very good.
No, that was the other thing. That was because it said in the article, at least I think it was the Huffington Post article. It's like this is from over a year ago a year ago because he said he's 67. He's almost 69 now.
Oh man!
Wow.
Well, did
the plot thickens? Whoever
Do you think they? Do you think they gave him what he wanted? More of the funny?
Yeah.
Well, more importantly, why are these voicemails coming out now if they're that old?
That's what
confuses me.
Who has them?
And why do they feel like they need to release these now?
Somebody's trying to sabotage something or get him. It doesn't. Why would the creator do that if they're trying to get picked up for a fourth season?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know who.
It's his voicemail, so it starts with him.
Yeah, but I don't know where, in a year's time, what happens to those things. It's, but you know what's great is that it's great to talk about. It's fun.
Right, it's fun.
Joel is so uncomfortable.
It's comfortable.
It's good times.
What's the
good time? It creates buzz.
What was the first?
It's like being on the Kardashians.
What was
just no matter what, it's all good press.
What was the first sign that there was something? I'm not saying you have trouble with him. But what was the first sign that there was tension? Because you see tension sometimes. What was the first sign that there was going to be some kind of a tension? Was it an argument with a writer, or was it?
I think, like the second day of work, Chevy strangled an extra. No, boy, no. I swear to you when I say this, that the cast does get along well, and Chevy is he can be very warm on set, and. But just like everyone can get into bad moods, like Jim, when you walked in, you literally slapped me in the face.
But I don't mind being. But honestly, we all get pissy here. We do. It's part of a working relationship. People tend to hear when we are because they can hear us.
Yeah.
In a live moment, so they kind of know like he's feeling shitty or Anna's right, whatever. But on sitcoms it happens too. And it's just with this now, it's become a public.
Right now, everyone,
and it looks divisive
because they're not taping that stuff usually.
Right.
No, and it's like it's Chevy being Chevy, and
see, but the reputation is terrible for him, and it's like you don't want to believe it. Like not you, but I mean, like myself. It's like, all right, everybody says he's a hard guy to work with, and he's a funny dude, but he's difficult to work with, and nobody likes him. And then he's on this show with a much younger cast. It's almost like a more relevant thing than he's done in a long time.
Yeah.
And he's just motherfucking everybody. And it's like, what? It's like, do you not see that you're the common denominator in every situation you're in? It's you.
Look, Anyway,
Just Like
what's
Heaven?
great about
All
these
right.
Cure songs that
You want to go with
yeah.
Just Like Heaven? That was the one I was.
Just Like Heaven, yes.
That's what I was trying to
That's
come
what
up
I want to
with.
say what a set is like.
Oh, yeah.
See, if you played this song underneath the voicemail,
Underneath the
It would sound
voicemail.
much better.
yeah, go ahead, play a little
I
bit
think-
of the voicemail.
Well, I guess I could do that.
Oh, you put it away.
Well,
I did put it away. I was
see,
gonna
this
throw it
how
in the
you were.
garbage.
You were. Oh, God bless
Here,
you.
start this over because this is a long intro.
Yeah.
So it'll work.
But this intro
nice.
really, like,
Oh, the intro
makes
kicks
it
in and everything.
exciting.
All right, hit it, E-Rob.
It's Chevy.
See,
Chevy Chase.
this sounds like the beginning of a great '80s movie.
I've
Yeah.
looked at now 3 shows in a row.
I feel like we're about to hit a
That's
dance.
last week.
Wait, was that other voicemail that went public recent?
I've watched more.
That
than
one was recent.
Oh, that's why this. Okay, that's why he released the other one. He's probably tired of getting these.
I would listen to this song.
Yeah.
You know something? I got to be honest with you. If a cast gets taken off of your leg and a bunch of stuff falls out that you've been scratching your leg with,
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking funny.
That happened. We
Yeah.
showed that when it opened up. He had
Okay.
like 9 pepperoni sticks, and everything he had shoved in there to scratch.
He had a scratch.
Yeah, he had hangers and.
So I agree with that. That's kind of funny.
Plastic knife. Yeah, that all happened.
Did it make the final cut? It
It did make that.
Okay.
Made the final cut. There's, because he was wearing a body cast in that, and we thought that he had stolen a pen, so we sawed it off and sawed his cast off, and when it took it off, we were all almost vomited from the smell. That was all in the script, so that all went well. I thought that was a good episode. That was actually it was the bottle episode,
that was a
which
good episode.
where we were just looking for a pen, and
Does it bother you to hear him mention your name like that? Because he's not motherfucker. He's not saying you're not
Chevy
funny.
Chase saying my name excites me.
But is it annoying?
No one sees that part of it.
Like in the context of, well, how come you're showing this and not my thing?
Well, I disagree with him about story. I think it's important to you have to tell the story and tell great jokes at the same time to forward it along. But that's kind of like a weird, well, darn it, these stories. No, but yeah, no, that doesn't bother me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it gets worse. More of Opie and Anthony's worst of 2012 so far coming up.
Very cold.
Thank you. I love you guys.
We spoke to you on the phone, and then Jim Norton, yes.
I know Jim Norton.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy about Jim Norton.
Thank you.
You know Jim
Isn't
Norton?
he great?
He's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys are great.
We love Jimmy.
Thank you, sir. We talked to you once on the phone.
I know.
Yeah, on
It's
the
nice
phone.
To see you here.
I know.
How was I? What was I on the phone? What did I do?
We spoke about a few things. I
You
guess.
just laughed a lot.
Yeah, it was. We had a lot of
just
fun.
laughed a lot.
We talked about well, first and foremost, of course, the vigilante Death Wish. Right,
Of course.
that one of your very early roles.
Yeah, it's still my favorite thing. Not that I don't love your other work, but that's still the greatest line I think ever uttered.
It has absolutely made it to the machine here.
Goddamn rich cunt!
Oh, you got headphones there.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to mess
I know
up his
that.
hair.
I know that
Oh,
line.
you know that line. This one's great. Here it is. Here it is.
Goddamn rich cunt! I kill rich cunts!
Jeez. That's very strong.
That's some strong language
now,
there,
can you
sir.
play that on the radio?
Well,
yeah,
it's a satellite,
here,
so we can a lot of latitude.
I see. Look at that. Oh, now I'm on FM radio.
A lot of latitude. You know, we
I
get
see,
to, say
okay.
things. But that was such a fun role. I think. I mean, you looked like you were having a great time there. A little hijinks and shenanigans in the apartment. Little goddamn rich,
It
and
was brutal. Yeah, you really knew that thing? You really remember that thing?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was thrilled to do it. It was the first thing I ever auditioned for. It was kind of a miraculous story.
Really?
I loved it, yeah. But, you know, I was a kid. I just come out of the neighborhood playhouse studying with Sandy Meisner. And, you know, and a bunch of three guys at a time went into this room and we improvised this little rape and murder scene. And they picked me. How about that?
So let me ask you a question about Meisner too. Like, what's the difference between that and say like what Brando took, method acting? What's the technique difference?
That's a very interesting question. You know, they all came out of the group theater. Strasberg and a bit of this is inside baseball stuff in their technique, you know. So they differ, but they all came out of that in the 30s. If you know the group theater, there's a wonderful book called The Fervent Years that's all about that. Stanislavski was doing what he was doing in Moscow around that time, and they changed American acting in the 30s. and it's too boring to go into the details of how Strasberg and Meisner kind of parted theoretical ways. But, basically all those modern actors were trying to do something a little different than what had been done before, whereby they make it a more authentic, lived out, the actor experienced story, so you really feel like you're not just being presented with an actor. But when Brando first walked on stage, people said, "Geez, is that a stagehand who has just wandered on the stage?" It was a little more true to life, that kind of thing.
That amazes me that it's so much work and a studying to just look natural. We were talking about it. Jim was talking about seeing you in your play
seminar.
Yes,
seminar,
very
good.
good.
And just saying
last night. Yeah,
But you did. You saw it last night.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
How great and natural it was, is what Jimmy was saying. Your acting is, fantastic.
It was amazing when because I panic when I have to act, and I just kind of stand all stiff and shit. And when I watch somebody who's so good, I watch your hand motions, and it's very natural the way you gesticulate and talk, and I'm like, that's just how he is probably off. You don't feel like you're watching somebody act. You just feel like you're watching a guy talk to 4 different people on stage. It's really interesting to watch.
Very sweet. Thank you very much.
And it was funny.
And it's funny, isn't it? Yeah. It's at the Golden Theater. It's 90 minutes. It's a lot of laughs. People are naked in it. There's some girls who are naked in it sometimes. There's sex going on. And I love the play. Teresa Rebeck wrote it. A brilliantly talented, smart, funny author. And Sam Gold, who, if people don't know, is a hot and spectacular young director. He's done a few things on right now. He was great to work with. And then that cast, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Hetty Ann Park and Jerry O'Connell, whom you know, and Justin Long and Zoe Lister-Jones. They're fantastic.
Jimmy said Justin Long was great.
They were, and I didn't know and so was Jerry. I didn't know the women's names, but I will say the best nipple I've probably ever seen.
Mine?
That kind of went without saying. I mean, but after yours, the second.
You're talking about. Well, that's high praise indeed.
What made it the best nipple, though?
It was just thick, and I noticed it from the third row. I hit Bob Kelly. I'm like, that's the best fucking nipple I've ever seen.
Did it take you out of the play for a second?
Dude, I couldn't stop looking at her. It was just so sexy when she just.
Did it have the slow fade into the? Oh,
no,
sorry, Jeff.
No, sorry. This is we hope not to diminish or vulgarize what she's doing. But Hetty Ann Park is a master artist herself.
Yeah,
yes, she is sexy.
Do you do a lot of theater over the years? Have you done a lot of theater?
I started doing theater even before Death Wish. Right around that time, I had done Two Gents, this musical of Two Gentlemen of Verona at the St. James Theater with Raul Julia. And then El Grande de Coca-Cola, this funny show, and da-da-da-da-da. And then through the years, some other things, a few other Broadway shows.
So you're a song and dance man, too?
Well, I wouldn't say that, really. I love music. Music is part of my life, though. I play piano. I have a jazz band in Los Angeles called the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra. And when I'm there and not working, we play out and about. I play with really great musicians. If you're out there, you should come to see where we are. It's
piano
fun.
players' fingers.
Who's in the band with you at one point? I just read something. Somebody said they were.
Well, Peter Weller originally kind of started it. We were in a movie together. Buckaroo Banzai. We met and we started to play it. But there are a lot of but he's since married, has a kid recently, and has gone off. But the core group keeps changing a little bit. But I play with great musicians. Anthony Wilson has played with us recently. He's a premier guitar player right now. Brilliant musician. Plays with Diana Krall right now, and some other guys who are just great.
You know what you're great at too, and I like watching you talk. You're great at doing. There's a couple of amazing monologues you have. And I've never seen anybody so good at just taking words and making them his. It's like watching you talk right now is exactly like watching you talk when you act. It's fucking depressing. It's so good. It's depressing. And I'm watching
depressing Jimmy.
No, but I mean that in a good way. It's just take these.
It's effortless.
But it's effortless.
It's effortless.
These weird pacing moments and not delivering like I just go line period line period. Watching the way your cadence and your pacing is fucking great, man.
Thank you so much. I'm a humble student at it. I'm trying to get better at it, but it fascinates me. It always has. I teach myself out in California whenever I'm not working for the last 20, 30 years. And I'm a kind of craft geek. I love to figure out how to, it seems simple and it's, it may on a certain level, it might be simple. We're talking, we show up, we can do things. It seems like it's talking, but really when you see people do it on a high level, not necessarily myself, but it's what excites me and what I love to strive for is it can be a refined, beautiful thing. I've seen acting that has changed my life and had teachers that have changed my life, certainly. This play is about a teacher. I play a teacher in it, and there are people who want to be creative artists, in this case, writers, 2 guys and 2 girls. And that's what it's all about. It's about the serious business of training people for something serious, especially in the creative arts. But anything, I suppose, if you're a soldier or if you're an athlete, as we know, if you want to be on the highest level, it's a very elite group that gets winnowed down. And the first qualification, I think, before we know, even if you're specially gifted and talented, which you finally have to be, is if you've got the entry-level qualification of commitment and you're wildly, passionately enthusiastic. And for some crazy reason, and it's irrational, you're in love with it, and you can't live without it. You want it so badly. I remember my father saying, you can taste it. That's the only reason you should act. He knew about that. He told me that. And he said, if you find something you love to do, that's what to do. And somehow I was gifted with that early on, not with talent or anything, but with this idea, with this singular and passionate idea. When I was a kid, it came upon me. I don't know. I was watching. I don't know how they took us to see children's theater or whatever. But I got this idea, and by the time I was in high school, I'd taken a course or 2 in the summer. Became a kind of a secret for me. And every morning when I took a shower, the steam would appear on the door, and while I was in there, I'd write, please God, let me be an actor. Whoa. And then before I left, I would erase it. I was absolutely obsessed with it. And that's basically what I, as the key character and the teacher in this show, am trying to find out and let them find out about themselves if that's what they're made of. I keep saying at the end, the last line of the play is, do you want to be a writer or not? And it's what that's basically my theme as I continue. I'm a very
Spoiler
tough
alert.
teacher,
Yeah, you just
and
gave
I
away the
beat them
play,
up.
I think.
What?
Spoiler Did you just give away the play?
No, he doesn't.
Well, not really. It's the fun is getting there, and I'm a terrible teacher, and it's very painful for them, and they misconstrue it, and they go, is this guy awful? Is he a villain? Is he trying to just beat us down or what? But in fact, I'm tearing off Band-Aids, ego Band-Aids, and all kind of things in order to get to that basic question and get them ignited into a commitment.
You said something in there. Yeah. Whose performance blew you away? You said some
through the years.
Yes, one maybe we would know, because I would assume you probably see a lot of stuff we.
Oh, yeah. Well,
maybe one.
Me, well, when I was a kid, like I said, I saw children's theater, and just the guy playing, Beauty and the Beast. I was like, what is he doing? What's he doing backstage and stuff? But once I got a little familiar with it, oh, geez. I was thinking last night again about Brando. Now that we mentioned him, on the waterfront, a lot of people will tell you they became actors because of that. That's not true with me. But once you know about it and once you see him do it, it's endlessly fascinating.
It was such a change between the acting that had gone on and was accepted as acting before, and then after that, much more real afterwards. And before it was this kind of over-the-top theater kind of acting.
Yes, mostly, talented people would emerge here and there. But he was distinct, and it was a landmark, and when he started to do what he did, and it was because of a change in time and sensibility, and, modern art was happening, and the other arts, things were progressing, and therapy, and we understood more about the psychology of the individual, and were more deeply interested in that, and all manner of things. So, but it changed. It changed, yeah. Isn't that fascinating? But I liked early on Peter Sellers. I was thinking about Peter Sellers early on.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you love him?
He was great in Being There. I mean, he had some phenomenal stuff.
What a great movie. How about Lolita? I love him in Lolita.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I love him in? Do you know I'll bet you know this movie, After the Fox. I was talking about it last night.
No, I've never seen it, no.
It's Vittorio De Sica directed. It's Neil Simon's first screenplay.
Oh, wow.
He's in it. It's from a kitsch period in the 60s. Burt Bacharach does the music. He sings with the Hollies, in fact, for those trivia experts, the theme song, After the Fox is me, but da-da-da-da-da. But it's hilarious. I saw it when I was a kid with my sister in Pittsburgh at the Leona Theater, but I see it, and my dresser at the show said, I remember that movie. I was 8 years old when I first saw it, and I haven't found that since in my adult life. I had a copy of it, and I gave it to him last night. I love that.
You're absolutely a student of acting, and because there are some actors that are just like, well, I go up there there and I just, make believe for a while. But you obviously take it very seriously, and still have fun with it. Yeah. Do you like a role like you're doing now in the show, or one of those blockbuster kind of Independence Day roles that, obviously storyline and character development isn't as important, but it's a blockbuster?
Yeah, well, it's nice to be in something that everybody sees and is excited about. It comes up in the show. I say, you can be a brilliant writer, but if you're doing it if you keep it in your drawer and nobody sees it, that's not the point. What we're doing here, really, and you may consider yourself brilliant and, it's just for me, but no, let's disabuse ourselves of that idea, especially if it's brilliant. Let people see it. So it's nice and gratifying to be in a popular thing, and in fact, those particular shows, Spielberg, there may have been dinosaurs in it, and but the parts that I was in, he was very attentive to. He's brilliant and refined and character-oriented and actor savvy and actor passionate, and so it was creative. And but you put a little mosaic piece here and there, one day after another, and it's creative and fun in a different way. I find this particular show a real first-class conditioning exercise for myself and workout.
There's a great. I'm sorry to interrupt. There's a great monologue where you kind of deconstruct Justin Long's character, and you kind of paint what it is that he's doing, and it was really fucking well written, and it said so much about, like you just said, people that just want to keep it for themselves instead of exposing. It was really, really well written and well performed.
Thank you. I love that. It's been fun to work on that, like a little, sculpting project. You keep kind of detailing it and finding out more about it, because it's brilliant writing, because it's kind of ambiguous. It could mean a lot of different things. But yes, it's an interesting moment in the show, an event. He's like, there's this Justin Long plays a brilliant writer that I recognize, but I also recognize the young me in him. Me, the character, I've sabotaged myself with some personal problems and ego and narcissism and, unsociability, and this old antiquated idea that if you're brilliant, you have the right and even obligation to be screwy. And you can't have time put up with regular people, and and J.D. Salinger is our hero, and you have to disappear somehow. I say, no, man, you're really off base there. And in fact, you've got these ideas, I tell him, because I'll paint you a picture of what's going to happen. He has just blown this opportunity. I've just given him, not to give him anything away, but I've just, finally he's shown me his work. He's been hiding all this time in class. He shows me his work. I say, this is absolutely brilliant. I recognize it immediately. And I say, I want to see everything you've ever written. I'm going to work on this. He says, no, you're terrible. You're a terrible teacher. You've taken too many drugs. You're abusing us. This guy's horrible. I'm not. And so not only am I, and then he says this thing to me, which was the crux of my undoing career-wise, in fact.
Went for the jugular.
He hits below the belt, and I'm very hurt. I'm very sensitive myself. And so with a fierce truth assault, I attack back on him, but show him what this kind of personal quirk and self-destructiveness will lead to in his life, because I know all too well. And then I say, and because you just did it here. This was the main thing. I offered you the biggest opportunity that you're ever going to have, and you have blown it. So wake up, pal.
This is great. It's like seeing part of the play. I know.
It's so
I think you just hit a whole scene.
Yeah, it's like got me. I'm fixated.
I know.
What's the first thing you do when you see a script? I always ask great actors that. Like, when you get a script, what do you do? Like, okay, I'm going to play Leonard. What do you do from there? Do you memorize the lines first, or do you think about the guy?
I have no formula. After all this time, I've been being able to tell people what to do, and there's some meat and potatoes things you can follow. But finally, it's a creative, it's a little project, an endeavor, and I myself have no formula. Each one suggests something different, and you read it, and things will start to occur to you. Oh, I know about this. I know about this guy. Here's a doorway I can go through. I'm interested in this part of it, this aspect of the character, how to make this funny, why he's doing that, how this is like my life, how I understand that, how this is like somebody else I know. And then, yes, I learn it early on, too. I like to know the words. I know there are actors and there are techniques where you can go, I'm not gonna learn the words too early, and that there's something in that, but it's also an excuse for laziness too. And there are pitfalls in learning it. You don't want to become mechanical. You want to be flexible. You want to get with the other actors and then adjust to them and adjust to the ideas of the director. But you can avoid those somehow too. And I find from the day I get the part, there are things that I can do that take up my whole day.
You have quite a unique way of speaking and body language, and over the years, people have imitated you. Do you have a sense of humor about yourself? Have you seen these and enjoyed them?
I'm always, it's always funny.
Yeah.
I like them all. Yeah, who do you know? Do anybody here?
Eli Gold's a friend of mine.
Eli Gold's fantastic. He's been very sweet to me. Yeah. I love his impersonation. It's very good.
Is it odd to look at someone's interpretation of you and go, do I do that?
Yeah. It is. You don't do it. You don't do it.
I don't do impressions, no.
I'm a sucker for impressions. I like any impressions. I like all impressionists.
Oh, I don't do any.
I
do one of mediocrity.
No, you're fantastic. Kevin Spacey, I did a play with him recently in London, and he's a master impersonator. He does the only William Hurt that I've ever seen.
Oh, wow, really?
Oh, it kills me. It cracks me up.
That's great.
I love him, his William Hurt. It's fantastic.
Who else is, what's his name, the actor from Usual Suspects?
I know
Kevin Pollak.
Kevin Pollak is really
Pollak
good.
is very good.
Duchovny does.
Duchovny
oh my God, David Duchovny was doing
on
an
SNL,
impression.
right? That was a famous one.
I think he did it here when he was in here with us, too.
He did?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Really? Was it good?
Yeah, it was pretty goddamn good.
He's pretty good, man.
I love when Elon does, and I think it's the only time I'll think of the impression when I'm listening to you, because you'll go, but, and Elon does this great, it's a brilliant thing for him to have caught. That's what impressionists do. They catch something that somebody does that you just wouldn't think of when you're doing the impression. Yeah. And that's what made it so unique and great.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
Good. I know. I love it.
But it's like Christopher Walken. There's very few actors who are so interesting that anything they do, you just want to hear their interpretation of it. Literally, I want to hear how Jeff Goldblum is going to do this or do that. And there's very few guys. Nicholson's one of those guys that's interesting enough. Walken yourself. There's very few.
You're so sweet. I love Chris Walken. Chris Walken and I have been in, here's a trivia question, 4 movies together. We've never had a scene together. We've come to know, I love to hang around him. I get a big kick out of him. But, we've been in 4
Think of even one movie that you were in that he was in. I'm not going to cheat.
We know that he was not in the Deer Hunter. You were not in the Deer Hunter.
I was not in the Deer Hunter, no.
Okay, King of New York.
I was not in King of New York.
That was a guess, but a question. I see. I tried to get an extra guess in there.
Really? I'd say the judges say that's a guess. You've used up one guess.
Yes. Yeah. That's a tough one. Were they earlier films from
films we should know
years ago?
Yes.
Walken was not in Independence Day. He was not in Jurassic Park. He was not in The Fly. He was not in Death Wish.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it. Now that I've said it, I know it's 4. I'm trying to remember the 4 myself.
To remember which ones they were.
Yeah.
I'll go over your bio.
And don't Google it. Don't.
I won't Google.
We had Donald Sutherland here the other day.
Also. I've done 2 movies with him.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
That's correct.
Fantastic. That movie still holds up.
Yeah.
It still holds up. It's a great
well, it was remake. Thank you so much. I agree. Not because of me, but I like Phil Kaufman, the director, is spectacular. And Donald Sutherland, Leonard Nimoy was in that.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy was in that.
I like playing the movie game. It goes actor, movie, actor, movie. It's like the Kevin Bacon game.
Right.
Well, you don't have to get back to him. So name an actor or a movie. Any actor or any movie.
Gary Oldman.
Okay, now we have to name a movie that he's been in. I say Batman. Wasn't he in that last Batman?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Okay, which takes us to
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, which takes us to the... Oh, what's the movie where he lost a lot of weight? The
Machinist.
The Machinist, which takes us to Jennifer Jason Leigh, which takes us to
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Exactly, which takes us to Sean Penn, which takes us to Falcon and the Snowman.
Falcon and the Snowman.
Which takes us to Timothy Hutton, which takes us to one of my favorite movies. You know who I ran into at Joe Allen's the other day? This is what this is. It's a social lubricant as much as anything else.
Give it a go. Let me tell you.
Judd Hirsch, who played my father in Independence Day. I ran into him at Joe Allen's. So he played, of course, in Ordinary People.
Ordinary People with
Timothy Hutton.
And
he was in Independence Day with you.
Independence Day, which takes us to Will Smith, which takes us to...
By the way, do you think Judd Hirsch set back the Jewish movement 50 years in that movie?
Certainly not.
David, my son David. we have also gone on that ad nauseum. David, my son David.
There was just a delicious touch of Humantaschen in his part. It was very beautiful.
This is not checkmate. This is not checkmate.
You'd all be dead if it wasn't for my David.
Yeah, that was the line.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
I just looked at something. Now I know.
Now you know one of the movies.
Where were we? We were stuck on. We went to Ordinary People.
So we
went to Will Smith. We wound up on Will Smith.
Will Smith. That takes us
Men in Black.
I love Men in Black. Tommy Lee Jones. I love No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
Which takes us, if we include directors, we go to the Coen brothers. A Serious Man. Speaking of the Jewish people, I loved A Serious Man. Did you see that?
No.
Ooh, no. I highly recommend. Ooh, when did I become Gunther Tootie? Ooh, what's that from?
I don't know.
Car 54, where are you? Come on.
Yeah.
Which takes us to, who was in that, actually?
Car 54?
That's right.
Yeah, the head guy.
He played, not the guy, but he played Herman Munster. His name is
Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn, who is also in the Cotton Club. Which takes us to Gregory Hines, which takes us to...
History of the World Part 1.
Sweet, Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks, which takes us to Young Frankenstein.
Oh, I love Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
That's right. You ever see the outtakes of that? And Gene Wilder cracking up. She goes, you haven't touched your food. He goes, here, there. I touched it, and then he cracks up. It's good. I love Gene Wilder.
Best yell in movie history.
Yeah.
Nobody yelled better than Gene Wilder.
Oh, yeah. He was a yeller. Now, he was in, wasn't he, Bonnie and Clyde? Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Was he in that?
He was the guy who's on...
Oh, the guy that was a mortician.
That's right.
Took
they
the
pick him up.
Don't
sell that cow. Don't sell that cow.
They were having a good time.
And then she finally says, hey, what do you do, by the way? He says, I'm a mortician. Faye Dunaway turns around and says, get him out of here.
Get him out.
Get him out.
That was an amazing
That's
movie.
him.
Faye Dunaway?
You know what he's on? Well, Faye Dunaway.
Network.
That takes us to Network. I love that.
Network.
Bill Holden takes to Sunset Boulevard. Takes us to, well, let's to Billy Wilder. Let's take that director, The Apartment. I love The Apartment. Guess who I ran, not to drop another name. Guess who I ran?
That's why we're doing this.
I ran into Shirley MacLaine on the street other day. Yeah. Whom I know. I said, Shirley. Hey, she said, oh, yes, you're in that seminar. I'm going to come to see it. I said, please do. Shirley MacLaine.
What a nice exchange that was.
I know, right?
Wasn't it?
Please do.
We don't have
How about
exchanges
that? My
like
perfect
that.
Shirley MacLaine impression.
That was great.
That was great,
That's
wasn't it?
good.
I
It
caught
really
something
was.
about it. I don't know. I just caught something very
That's exactly how she would say, I'm going to come see it. That's exactly how she would
What was her
remember.
name in The Apartment?
I never saw it.
Oh, God, I don't know.
You've got to be kidding.
No.
Another one. So put this down. So put After the Fox, put Serious Man. We've already got 3 movies
Okay.
for
Yes,
you.
you have to-
Hold on.
Serious Man
on,
and now
The Apartment.
And now what do we say? The Apartment. Yeah.
Jeff's
No, she plays
choices.
Miss Kubelik. Miss Kubelik. The last line of that movie is Miss Kubelik, who says this, Miss Kubelik, I absolutely adore you. Oh, I'm crying right now. She says, I'm a romantic. I'm a big romantic. She says, shut up and deal. Oh, I love that movie. And then it goes into the theme song. Da, ba, 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 ba. The Apartment.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're like
movie.
a Rain Man.
Yeah.
You're a Rain Man with
Jeff
this.
Goldblum is nuts.
Yeah, that's the conclusion. I agree.
He might
When you
be
write
tripping.
that
I don't know.
down. I don't know what-
He's fucking nuts.
Yes, I agree. I've seen myself through your eyes. This is the greatest day of my life.
They're telling us that Jeff has to go.
But I looked.
shit.
One of the movies is Annie Hall. I just want to say
Chris
that because
Walken
Annie
was
Hall.
in Annie Hall. That's right. He was also in the Sentinel. I'm thinking now. He's also in Man of the Year. Yes, Robin Williams, Man of the Year, and one other movie. I don't know. It's not, it'll come back to me. Somebody, one of your
we will absolutely
fine listeners will find that out.
Yes.
We have to plug Jeff's show too, because this is why he's here, and they're telling us in our earpiece that you have
come
other
on,
press.
come get tickets.
Yes.
I highly recommend it.
I really did love it.
I'm only there for 2 months, so you run, don't walk. Come on.
Right, Jeff Goldblum. What a
I already
blast
had one
this
with
has
you.
been.
My
I've been a
blast
huge
for
fan
me.
over the years.
Yes, this was great.
Do you remember this moment?
Yeah.
Of course not. That was outside of a theater. I have an awful photo with Jeff
Oh
Goldblum.
my God! Look at that, and look at this is not one of my better moments, of course. I have my hair is like Ernie Kovacs in that. Very good. But you look at you.
Look at a fat-faced creep I am.
No, you look very handsome.
I look like one of the things that hatched in Jurassic Park. Look at that fucking.
The worst is yet to come. This is O&A's worst of 2012 so far on the Opie and Anthony channel.